I am working for this retail pharmacy certified by the Board of Pharmacy, and I was willing to show them to the wholesale pharmacy. So this worked. But if we go back and try to buy one of these drugs that is marked as a nuclear pharmaceutical, let me see. The access control policy for that purchase is a little bit different because a pharmacy to handle nuclear drugs has to be certified in proper handling procedures. And you get that credential also through the Board of Pharmacy or a Board of Pharmacy who in turn is certified by the FDA. And my pharmacy does not have that credential. So when I try to order that drug, the negotiation will fail. So you saw the negotiation running in the background, and the outcome was that it failed because I didn't have the right credentials. Okay, so that's our first demo. And it shows how you can use trust negotiation to limit access to sensitive resources over the internet. The second demo is slightly different. We're going to be protecting sensitive access requests. And to motivate this, let me show you a piece of mail I got recently. If you're like me, you get dozens of these emails every day. This one is supposedly from eBay, and it says, due to fraudulent activity on my account, I really need to click on this URL, which looks like it's an eBay URL. And if we went there, it would ask for my social security number, credit card number, CVV code from the back of my credit card, and lots of other information. And they've made this URL. There are various ways you can do these tricks, but you notice that even if I put my mouse over it, if I were a naive user, I'd think, oh, this really is eBay. It's not just eBay, it's secure eBay. So I would be foolish and send them this private information. At least that's what they hope I'll do. So let's look at how trust negotiation could help prevent naive users from responding to those sorts of phishing attacks. Okay. So suppose that email is from the legitimate eBay, and they really do want me to go to this website and fill out all this private information like my credit card number, expiration date, CVV code, and so on. Well, my security agent has several policies in place to protect me from inadvertently disclosing sensitive information of mine to inappropriate parties. And these access control policies say, for example, that my credit card number should only be disclosed to companies that have, I think, a privacy policy and are members of the Better Business Bureau. And my eBay account name and password should only be disclosed to eBay as proven by possession of a certificate from VeriSign. So if I click Submit here, for the legitimate eBay site, the trust negotiation will succeed. You see it running in the background because eBay has all the credentials that I was requesting, and it was willing to show them to me. So it's okay for me to disclose that information to them. But if I go to a site that looks exactly the same to the casual observer, asks for the exact same information, but this time it's not eBay, it can't prove that it possesses a certificate from VeriSign declaring that it is eBay. In that case, if we do the trust negotiation, it's not going to work because this site can't prove that it's eBay because it's not eBay. I think I have the appropriate windows hidden in the back. Is that it? Nope. I think maybe this one. No. I've got too many windows here to see the one we want. Somewhere in this stack of windows, there's one that says that the certain policy hasn't been satisfied. The policy for giving out my social security number hasn't been satisfied. The policy for sending out my eBay account name only to eBay has not been satisfied. And it asks me if I want to submit it anyway. And if my answer is no, then the trust negotiation will fail, and I've been protected from sending this information to this imposter site. But if I click on the yes, send it anyway, then we have an amusing ending to the demo, which I can't seem to find the right window for. I've just got a few too many of them here. I think this one actually turns off the phishing demo, but if I can't find the little error window, that's just as well. Yep, that's the one that concludes the demo. So I'm sorry you didn't get to see the very ending of that, but the screen that I'm looking at is about half the size of normal since it's being projected up on the big screen. Okay, so now let's go to our third demo, which is Traust, the standalone authorization server. And we start by starting up a Traust client. Pull up our Mozilla. Okay. The Traust client is very slow in starting.
While that's starting, I have a quick question.
Good timing.
You said that one of the policies you would have is that your eBay ID should only go to eBay.
Mm-hmm.
How does the trust negotiation software know that it's your eBay ID that you're entering here and not your Fisher's Anonymous ID?
Okay, it's scanning the content that goes past, and it's in this case, it's doing simple pattern matching techniques to look for what it knows is my eBay username and password. So if we were fancier, we could use arbitrary IR-style techniques to classify the content into different categories of sensitivity. So once the agent identifies that a certain type of sensitive information is present in the request that I'm sending out, in this case as part of that long post request, it looks up the policies associated with that type of sensitive content, and then it enforces them on the fly with the other party. And then if the other party can't satisfy them, it brings up the little override window that I couldn't find in my stack of windows. And you can choose to override it if you want, but certainly in the case of the phishing attack, that would not have been a good idea. So that's how that works.
Sounds to me like then I'm going to need to use a different user ID for every site.
User ID. The security agent knows who you're sending it to also. So that's part of the policy. So if you're sending your standard Chris Clifton login to one site, and even if you use the same password, it may be okay to send that without further negotiation, or it depends on who you're sending it out to. So that can be part of the triggering process. Okay. Okay, so let me quickly run us through this last demonstration. This is one taken from the domain of disaster response. There's a phenomenon known as mass convergence. When a major disaster happens, people who want to help converge on that site where the disaster's taken place. And trying to coordinate those people and get them where they're needed and send the ones that aren't needed back home is a major, major headache for disaster coordinators. So one potential use of trust negotiation is in automating the